Hi, Anthony. Try. There we go. Can't hear you. No, there's no audio. Maybe change to the computer audio. That could help. Can you hear me, Anthony? Okay. No, we still can't hear you. You can hear me? Okay. Try and log in with your computer audio and see if that works.
Hold on a
Yes.
second.
Now we can hear you.
Is this working?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's going to make you host quickly.
Oh, wait a minute. Now it's not working. Now I don't have sound.
No, we can hear you.
Select speaker. Okay, now we're in.
Perfect. Do you want
Perfect.
to?
All right. Good morning, everybody. Sorry about
Good
all this.
morning. We're just going to wait a couple minutes for some more people to join. I see that they're
Okay,
still logging
brilliant.
on. Do you want to upload your presentation just so that we can have it visible, just to see if
Yeah,
it works?
of course. How do I do that? Also share system audio. Entire screen.
Is there, Anthony, is there audio with any of your presentations in any of the slides? Unmute.
Can you hear me? Um, for some reason,
Can you
when
hear
I
me?
have yeah, I can hear you now, and that's for some reason when I have the when I have the presentation up, it won't, it unmutes me. Well, it mutes me automatically, and it won't let me unmute myself, which is going to be quite problematic because I won't be able
That
to,
is.
you won't be able to
Um,
hear me.
maybe look at your audio settings. So if you click the mute section and click on audio settings, maybe change that.
Audio options.
And maybe look through there. There should be something.
Yeah. No, doesn't look like there is an option. Um, what if I sent you the presentation? Would that be, would that work?
To send me the presentation.
Yeah, because
Okay.
there's I can't see any options to avoid. Um, let me just check one more thing. No, it's the same thing. Mute my microphone. Join the meeting. Let me try again. Hold on.
Okay.
Show tab. Right, I'm gonna try this. Let's see if this works.
Sure.
Now, can you hear me still?
Yes, I can hear you. So that's working. We just need the
Can you,
presentation to come up though.
can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Hmm.
It's just a blank white screen at the moment.
The joys of technology. We'll get there. One sec.
Yes, we can see it, but we can't hear you if you are talking. No.
Right. Can you hear me?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear
And we,
me?
yes, and we can see your presentation.
Okay, great. And I'm gonna. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can.
Ah, okay, fantastic. We figured it out. Great.
Okay, perfect.
Apologies for the delay, everyone.
Okay, cool. So I just obviously want to do a quick introduction and
Sure.
welcome you. Thank you so much. Thank you firstly to everyone that has joined our training session. Sorry about the delay. So we have Anthony from Red Carnations Hotel in London, and he will be presenting on all the superb properties that they have. So I know we're a little bit delayed, so you can take it away, Anthony.
All right, fantastic. Well, welcome everybody. My name is Anthony. Thank you for the introduction. I head up sales for the UK, and today we're going to dive deep into our UK portfolio of Carnation hotels. So, a lot of you are familiar with the style of hospitality that we deliver from your engagement with our African sister properties. And you know, a lot of what your guests experience there are very similar to what your guests would experience when they land in the UK, with the exception of probably not so great weather. So without any further ado, let's dive right in. So we're gonna normally I would start the presentation with our London properties, but today I'm going to start with a bit of a wild card because not many people know this fabulous destination. It's an island destination in the Channel Islands, which is that stretch of water between France and the UK, and it's called the Channel Island of Guernsey. And Guernsey is where we introduced quite a few years ago our first and only five-star hotel, which is the Old Government House, in perhaps what I and many people consider some of the prettiest port views that you would get in the UK. The Channel Islands is a location that would suit a variety of different tastes in travel, from people who want to do absolutely nothing and have fabulous food, great seafood, and enjoy you know, quiet strolls in the countryside, to visiting hidden coves and beautiful and admire on these beautiful views over St. Peter Port. The interiors of the hotels, of the hotel, much like all of our properties, are individually designed. So each room will be different and really embracing the uniqueness of the island. It's a it's an island that is mostly with from a domestic perspective is very leisure driven. A lot of UK residents like to go there. From an international perspective, I think it's a good opportunity for somebody who, or clients who have probably been to the UK before, but who are wanting to experience something really different. And the Channel Islands of Guernsey offers all of that. And they have better weather than we do. Lots of outdoor spaces, as you can see here, a variety of dining options from their brasserie to their curry room and their conservatory. Um, Really light and airy. And then 5 minutes down the street, literally down the street, is the Duke of Richmond, which is another striking property. Immediately as you walk in, you're hit with this black and white, very elegant and opulent interior. And then when you go up to the rooms, you really are in a place that really takes advantage of those views over the St. Peter Port as well as the town. Something to note from Gatwick Airport, which is where most flights to Guernsey uh, take place. It's literally 45 minutes. The plane has enough time to take off, and then as soon as it reaches cruising altitude, it starts its descent into Guernsey. And then from the moment they tell you to unbuckle your seatbelt, you are in the lobby of the hotel within half an hour. So the travel time between London and Guernsey is really, really, really short. Um, Next, we move to our iconic Ashford Castle. And Ashford Castle was the hunting lodge for the Guinness family, and the Guinness family, as I'm sure you know, are the associated to the brewery. And Ashford Castle sits on a sprawling 350 acres of pristine land in the west coast of Ireland, in a place called County Mayo, overlooking Lake Corrib. And there you can find an array of activities from horse riding to joining the School of Falconry and taking the falcons out on walks, to dining in the dungeon or in their tunnels, which are now the wine cellars. And what strikes most of our guests here is that when you enter the estate and you enter Ashford Castle, here you won't find a castle that's been restored and turned into a modern interior. Here, what you will find is a castle that has been revived after the investment that the Tolman family put in, which back in 2017, sorry, 2014, bringing it back to its former glory. A lot of extensive research went into understanding what the building looked like back in its height and recreating that with the use of fine arts, a collection that is extensive and of museum quality to down to the wood carvings, etc. So lots of detail here, and really you get a sense of that grandness and of living in a castle. The dining options are vast. So here you have their fine dining restaurants, the George V, with its beautiful chandeliers. You can expect the very best in Irish produce transformed into elegant and sophisticated dishes. Interiors of the rooms really take advantage of the original volumes of the building. So you'll often find rooms with triple height ceilings and large bay windows overlooking lakes. And the grounds are absolutely spectacular. There you can see one of the keepers of the wolfhounds. You can take walks actually in the woods in the mornings with the wolfhounds, and it's a very popular activity. Because these dogs, they may be very tall, very big and looking, but they are so agile and so fast. They're extraordinary creatures. Sitting on the same acreage is the lodge at Ashford Castle, which actually is the largest out of the two properties. The lodge at Ashford Castle takes advantage of the same views, has access to the same activities on the estate, and offers a slightly more contemporary um, atmosphere here. Also, from a family perspective, family travel perspective, this is a hotel that is really geared up for multi-gen travel with lots of different options of rooms and categories that interconnect and interlead. So you can see here the difference between the interiors of the castle and the lodge. Now we've landed into London and into straight into our London flagship, which is the Milestone Hotel and Residences. And the Milestone Hotel is a mansion house um, that was built in the Victorian era, and it has a slight Gothic look and feel to it. And I've got a short little video, whoops, to give you a little bit of a taster of what to expect. Here you're facing Kensington Gardens, and I'm going to pause right here because actually to show you some of the beauty in the interiors. Oops. Uh, we're sitting here in the Hermes suite, which is a really special suite. It's probably one of the most popular. It was created, inspired by Mrs. Tolman, who's our founder, as you know. Mrs. Tolman's collection of Hermes scarves that you can see displayed here on the walls. That suite is, again, really taking advantage of the volumes of the original building, so triple height ceilings, this custom made brass bed, a mix of contemporary and classic furnishings. No details been spared here. This is a hotel also that is located in one of the most affluent areas of central London. It's located opposite Kensington Palace. And one thing before we continue with all of the London hotels is one thing about each of the properties is that they are located in areas of London that are easy to walk to, special attractions and points of interest. So from Kensington, here you are within walking distances to the Royal Albert Hall. You might catch an exhibition at Kensington Palace. You've got Hyde Park across the street. And also, it's the hotel that's nearest to access to London Heathrow Airport. So very practical. You also have the advantage of the underground tube station being really close by. Lots of public buses, which are safe to take. Often, I would say to my friends who come and visit to London for the first time, listen, take a double-decker bus and go and explore this way. Sit on the top deck because there you can see everything, and the buses are fairly, punctual. Then we go to the hotel that is the nearest to Buckingham Palace, which is the Rubens Hotel. And the Rubens Hotel at the Palace is a five-star property featuring 161 guest rooms. And here, everything is about the royal affiliation that we have with our famous neighbor. So that royal theme really continues throughout the entire atmosphere of the hotel. Um, when you're sitting and having afternoon tea, you're facing the Royal Mews, which is basically an entrance that is used every day by Buckingham Palace staff, but also royalty. So you never know who you're going to spot. The interiors of the rooms again continue that royal theme throughout. Really opulent, rich colors and beautiful artwork. You might even spot a painting of the Queen Mother in your room, and it's a very popular destination. Now, in terms of the location, here you have Trooping of the Colors, which is not far from the hotel. You can walk there. You can walk to the main gates of Buckingham Palace. You're there within 5 minutes. You also have the advantage of being within walking distance to Victoria Station. Victoria Station is important because if your guests are wanting to go and explore the coast, so say they want to do a day trip to Brighton, for example, which is a popular seaside town, you can take the train, the direct train from Victoria. Also, if you are arriving from Gatwick Airport, you can take the Gatwick Express straight into Victoria Station, and within a 6 minutes walk, you are at the entrance of Rubens at the Palace. Equally, if you are venturing closer towards the center of the city, you've got Green Park and Piccadilly, which is just across the street, across Green Park, as it were, and that's about a 15-minute walk, leisurely stroll through the greeneries of Green Park. It's really a London, I would say, is probably one of the most walkable cities that you will ever find. And we'll continue with a view of some of the. Oh, there you go, the Queen Mother, King Charles. And then from a dining perspective, there are again a wealth of different styles of dining. So from the New York bar, which really comes alive in the evening with its rich interiors, to and that's where you go and have cocktails in the evening, light bites, to afternoon tea in the Palace Lounge, facing that royal muse. You have floor to ceiling windows that really take advantage of the view over the castle. And again, you never know who you might spot coming out of those gates. It's a very popular afternoon tea destination, and I would highly recommend booking in advance because it does get booked up quite quickly. And every hotel will offer an afternoon tea, but the afternoon tea is quite has a unique spin in each of the properties. Um, the English Grill is our fine dining restaurant, which serves elegant theatrical dining, where you have smoked salmon carved at table sides to fine cuts of grilled meat, also carved to the side, together complemented with some wine list. There's also a theater kitchen, so you get to see the buzz of the kitchen in action, but you don't hear the sound of the music, um, which is fantastic.
Sorry, can everyone just mute their computers, please?
There's a big focus on theatrics of dining here at the Rubens, as you can see from the Gary Don service. And this is the New York bar where people have their pre-dinner cocktails or a quick bite. Then we have adjoining another restaurant, which is called B Bar, which serves really casual dining from fantastic, generous salads to great burgers and so on. So if you want something less formal, that's the place to go. And then the curry room. So the curry room actually, so it's our Indian fine dining restaurant, also at the Rubens, and it shares a lot of recipes with our sister hotel, the Oyster Box in Durban. So the head executive chef there actually played a big part in creating the menu here at the Curry Room, working with our Indian chef in London, bringing some of the South African twists on the famous curries that he serves in Oyster Box here in London. So you can get a little taster of home when you're visiting. And it's a smaller dining room, so it's really intimate and very quite atmospheric. Directly next door to the Rubens at the Palace is another hotel, but this time completely different to the Rubens. Whereas the Rubens has 161 guest rooms, the Hotel 41 actually has only 30 keys. This is a hotel that is exclusive to our guests, so you wouldn't be able to walk in without a reservation. And that immediately as you enter, you're struck by the beauty of this entranceway with its black and white marble tiles, and the wood features. The hotel's interior concept is all centered around black and white and rich mahoganies and accents of brass and gold. And here your guests will be greeted by not just one members of staff per guest, but two members of staff to every single guest. And it's a hotel that has won many, many accolades over the years. It's featured heavily in the top spots on TripAdvisor, often position one or two. Um, as you can see, that black and white um, look continues into the bedrooms. And this is the only hotel in the collection where the theme is consistent across all of its room inventory. So central to the experience at 41 is the lounge, and the lounge is really your home from home. When you arrive at the hotel and you check in, the first thing that we do is we sit you down in one of those comfortable seats and we wheel out the champagne trolley. And the first question we will ever ask you um, when you arrive is, which champagne would you like? And you'll be presented with a choice of three different champagnes. And then we ask you for your credit card. Um, then in the lounge, you have access to the pantry, which offers dining throughout the day, lots of different snacks, warm hot scones and clotted cream and homemade preserves in the afternoons. Breakfast is served here or in your suite or in your room. Um, there's a beautiful fireplace, so if you are visiting during the winter time, it's a cozy retreat away from the cold and the dark winter nights in London. And then in the evening, we have a concept called Plunder the Pantry. And the idea with Plunder the Pantry is, say you go out to the theater one evening, and when you come back to the hotel, you might feel a little bit peckish. So Plunder the Pantry offers a menu of hot and cold dishes, from charcuterie boards to cheese boards to different hot dishes and desserts. And you can really have a little midnight feast tucked away in your suite or your room or by the fireplace in the lounge. And it's all part of the rate that you've paid. Equally, before you head out to the theater or you're heading out to your favorite restaurant that our concierge would have organized for you, you might want to enjoy a pre-dinner drink in the lounge, and we'll serve you a platter of canapes and freshly made croque monsieurs to get your taste buds going for the evening. And again, this is part of the offering at Hotel 41. So this is very much generous hospitality through and through, from the people that are looking after the guests to the amenities to the food and beverage offering. There is also a 24-hour menu served in the lounge, but also, if you're here with us for a couple of days, and say you had dinner in the English Grill at the Rubens one night, and the other night you had a meal at the Curry Room, and the third night you didn't want to go out, but you really, really wanted something from either restaurant, then we can order that, and it can be served to you straight in the lounge or in your suite. There you go, glass of champagne, everyone. Moving forward, we've got the Edgerton House Hotel, which is quite special to me because 20 years ago, when I first moved to London, the Edgerton House Hotel was where I had my first job in London as a receptionist in this beautiful townhouse. Tucked away in Knightsbridge, the hotel is really in the center of um, the sort of the art world and the museums. You have Victoria and Albert Museum across the street, the Natural History Museum within a 5, 6 minute walk, and then of course you've got all the shopping possibilities in Knightsbridge and going into Sloane Square, etc. It's a hotel that doesn't feel like a hotel, I'm pleased to say. It's a hotel that feels more like entering a grand mansion, sorry, townhouse. Directly as you enter, you've got the drawing room, which is that image here, where guests like to relax in or on an evening after they've gone out sightseeing. This is often where the people will come in and tell their stories from their exploration of the city while enjoying a martini or afternoon tea. Harrods is also only a few steps away, around 7 minutes walk. The rooms follow a color palette that is more muted than most of our hotels, um, but again, individually designed and lots of attention to detail. And that hotel only features 29 keys, so you can expect a high level of service, and it's a very intimate setting. Great for couples, great for anniversaries, and actually, we see a lot of mother-daughter trips there. The Chesterfield Mayfair Hotel sits off Berkeley Square, which is near Green Park Tube Station. The hotel is in a great position because although it is tucked away in a residential street, so away from the noise of Piccadilly, you are within close walking distances to places like Oxford Street, Piccadilly, Buckingham Palace, which is across Green Park. You have also the advantage of being very close to Green Park Underground Station, where the Piccadilly line is travels through, the Jubilee line travels through as well. So if your guests decide to arrive at Heathrow and take um, the underground, so the tube, then you can alight at Green Park, and from Green Park Station, it is a 5 minute walk. The Chesterfield Mayfair Hotel is one of our largest hotels, together with the Rubens, with 101 keys. And as you can see, it has that very Mayfair look and feel. I would often say that it feels more like a private members club than a hotel, with the exception that you don't have to pay any membership fees. But it is very quintessentially Mayfair, with its deep leather chairs and sofas and wood panels that you see throughout. The dining room is called Butler's, where you also enjoy fine British cuisine. And then their terrace bar becomes really alive with cocktails shaking in the background, and it's a convivial place to be. And this year, I wanted to say, and we don't yet have photography, but this year, over the next 2 years, a lot of investment is going back into the London properties. So I was just at the Chesterfield yesterday, and I got to meet some clients in the Terrace Bar, which has completely had a little bit of makeover, and the conservatory is blended into the bar. So for those who have already been to one of our hotels before, they might see something different wherever they may choose to stay. The Montague on the Gardens is a hotel also quite special to me because I spent 7 years as their DOS before taking on this role before the pandemic. The Montague sits opposite the British Museum. It's a hotel that is um, actually in the very center of town. If you were to take the tube map and look for a station called Holborn Tube Station, you will immediately notice that it is located in the very center of the city. One of the things that is an advantage for the Montague is that it is in the middle of all the different pockets that most people like to go and explore, such as Covent Garden, um, which is about a 15-minute walk away or 10-minute walk. So within a 10 to 15-minute walk, you can be at Covent Garden. You can, as I say, go and visit the British Museum. You could actually also hop on a train and go up to Scotland if you wanted to, because Euston Station and King's Cross International Station is within a 15-20 minute walk or a 5-minute taxi right away. Equally, if you were doing London and Paris or London to Brussels, you might want to, yeah, the Montague is a really good option because, again, you're about 5 minutes by cab to the Eurostar terminal. Oxford Street is also within that 15-minute walking radius. And then if you're going into the east side of London, you can go to visit St. Paul's. Some people like to walk it. Walking is about a 20 to 30 minute walk, but you're going through Chancery Lane and down towards St. Paul's. So it's a nice, easy walk. Or it's about a 10-15 minute taxi ride. The hotel feels more like a country house that has been dropped in the middle of bustling London. The interiors are, very British. It takes advantage of the views over Bedford, Montague Street Gardens, which are private gardens that flank the whole length of the hotel. So one side of the hotel faces the Georgian facades on the street side, and then the other half is entirely garden view, which is beautiful. So now we leave London, and often I would recommend people to, especially if they visited London before, to maybe spend a couple days in London and then hop over to the countryside. And one of my favorite country retreats is Summer Lodge Country House Hotel and Spa, located in Dorset, which is just under 3 hours away from Waterloo Station on one train. We take you through the countryside and you alight in the tiny but the cutest little unmanned station called Yeovil Station. And then from there, we pick you up with our Range Rover and bring you to the estate of Summer Lodge. There, you can find this beautiful home that was built by Thomas Hardy, and it features some beautiful, breathtaking artwork and interiors that are very much in keeping with the Dorset country life, but also gives you that slight Bridgerton kind of vibe, which our guests really enjoy. This is a place where time stands still, and you will really find it very difficult to check out because if you're like me and you lead a very busy life, when you go and stay at Summer Lodge, you just can't help but completely unwind. It's a place that is all about quality dining from the restaurants where the chefs and the local producers really work hand in hand. In fact, The breads that are baked daily are made by the bakery that is across the street from the hotel. They make all of our breads and our pastries to the chief gardener and his garden kitchen. So a lot of produce come from there. And then Dorset is renowned for its amazing farms and producers that produce some quality ingredients. Um, and then the gardens, for people who really appreciate beautiful British English gardens. Spring, summer is probably the most popular time of year to visit. Um, to staying in one of the cottages. This is the Ivy Cottage, which is a separate building to the main house. Features a secret garden and also your own spa. Across the street in from Summer Lodge is the 16th century coaching inn called the Acorn Inn. And there you will find 10 rooms, beautifully decorated, a pub and a restaurant. And one of the things about the area, the hotel and Acorn Inn sit in the village of Evershot, and we basically occupy the village because the post office is actually our gift shop. You can also pick up maybe a bottle of our Bouchard Finlayson wines that we stock there, and and it offers another a dining destination when you visit when you visit um, Summer Lodge and the Acorn Inn. And then from there, you can go on long walks into the countryside. There are bicycles that you can borrow free of charge and go to the next village. One of my favorite things to do is to take a bike, go to the next village, visit the local pub there, and then go to the next village through the farmlands, and you really get a sense of that country living. And then you come back to the hotel and might go for a dip in the pool in their fabulous spa. New to 2024, I'm excited to announce the opening of 100 Princess Street in Edinburgh. Now, I don't have any image. It's probably the best kept secret that's ever been in a hotel opening. Tony Tolman, who leads the project and design team, has been very, very adamant that no picture will be taken until opening. And I'm pleased to say that opening will be the 16th of April. 100 Princess Street sits on Princess Street in Edinburgh, which is a 6-minute walk from Waverley Station and a 45-minute drive to Edinburgh Airport. You're right in the center of the city, which is probably one of the most walkable cities in the UK. It takes advantage of the views of Princess Street Gardens and the castle that is directly in front of the hotel. On the first floor of the hotel will be a central lounge, and very much twinning the concept of Hotel 41, the lounge will be where everything happens, from check-in to dining to luxuriating over those views and enjoying a fine whiskey from our collection, or perhaps selecting a bottle of wine from our wine cabinets. The interiors of the hotel are inspired by the great adventurers and explorers of Scotland, such as David Livingstone and a few more. It is a hotel which will only have 30 keys, but like Hotel 41, again, will have a 2 to 1 staff to guest ratio. Um, so stay tuned. Follow. Make sure that you're following our socials as well, because we will be revealing 100 Princess Street over the next few days once it's opened. So this is the end of my presentation, and I am happy to take any questions that you might have. I hope this has been useful. The next thing would be for you to visit, obviously, when you're in town. If you are coming to London, make sure to let me know, and I would be happy to organize a full site visit for you.
Wow, that was amazing. Thank you so much, Anthony. Do we have any
Well,
questions?
oh, let me un.
Any
Here we
questions?
go.
There we go. No, doesn't look like there is anything. I think you did a really good job explaining each property. It was absolutely fantastic. Um, last chance,
Fantastic.
anyone, any questions? No?
Well,
Oh,
if there are any question that arises after today's call, then feel free to email me. Um, I'm sure I'll make sure that my contact details are shared. But yes, I'm just across. Well, I'm only a phone call or an email or a Zoom call away.
perfect. Thank you. There doesn't seem to be any questions. Everyone, thank you so much for joining, and we
Thank you
will
so
see
much,
you guys next
everybody.
week.
All right, take care.
Thank you,
Have a
Thank you
good
very
Anthony.
day.
much.
Thank you.